A wildfire outside of Portales grew to 350 acres before crews and mutual aid services got it under control.
It's a bit windy outside. Find out more on my first weather forecast.
And the Bernalillo County Care Campus has gotten an expansion. All this and more right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Micah Hargers.
And I'm Fernando Balderrama. Thank you so much for watching.
On Friday the 10th at around 5:51 p.m., a fast-growing wildfire started south of Portales. Portales firefighters, as well as off-duty personnel, the Elida Volunteer Fire Department, Dora Volunteer Fire Department, and the Roosevelt County Road Department arrived on the scene of a 30-acre grass fire about half a mile south of mile marker 416 on U.S. Highway 70. Within the hour of its starting, the fire managed to grow to a size of 350 acres. An unknown amount of structures were at risk while the fire was blazing, so crews focused on protecting structures and evacuating people in the area. Working with mutual aid agencies, the fire was contained at around 6:58 p.m. No structural losses or injuries have been confirmed.
A man accused of stabbing and killing a homeless man in Albuquerque changed his plea in court on Monday. 46-year-old Joseph Hernandez has pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and tampering with evidence. According to Albuquerque police, Hernandez and the victim got into a physical fight in the area of First Street and Rosemont Avenue in Northwest in April of 2025. At one point, the victim pushed Hernandez to the ground, and when Hernandez got up, he had a large knife in his hand. Police say Hernandez then stabbed the victim several times before walking away. The violent encounter was captured on surveillance video. Police were able to identify Hernandez as the stabbing suspect with the help of a local business employee and booking information from the Metro Detention Center. Hernandez faces up to 9 years in prison during his sentencing hearing, which is set for June 1st.
Bernalillo County's Care Campus, a facility that helps individuals struggling with mental illnesses and substance disorders, has expanded its program to include 15 more beds. This 10-day program is designed to provide a safe and supportive environment for those suffering from the withdrawals of substances and alcohol use. It provides case management, personalized recovery plans, discharge plans, and referrals to long-term care. Deputy County Manager of Behavioral Health, Dr. Wayne Lindstrom, said, "This expansion reflects our continued commitment to meeting the needs of our community. By increasing capacity and strengthening our clinical partnerships, we are improving access to care and supporting more individuals on their path to recovery." For more information about the Care Center, you can email behaviorhealth@bernco.gov. So, Jaden, with this wind, what do we have forward for the weather?
Well, it's a bit windy, but I enjoyed the rain last week. We're not looking at much rain in future forecasts, honestly.
I'm actually happy because the thunderstorms were not it.
I loved the thunderstorms personally.
I love listening to thunderstorms and watching good lightning show. Unfortunately, no lightning, just a ton of wind. We're seeing gusts up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour through the southeastern part of New Mexico, moving towards West Texas. Here in Portales, we're at the 10 to 12 mile per hour mark. But it's springtime. It's springtime here in New Mexico, so winds is really our biggest problem here. Let's take a look at current temperatures. 76 currently here in Portales, 75 up in Clovis, 80 in Lubbock, Texas, down in Hobbs, 79, and then Roswell, New Mexico at 80, Santa Rosa at 72. Let's take a look at our current radar right now. Clear skies here in the eastern plains, not much precipitation. Like I said, I'll have more of my full weather forecast later. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Jaden. A Bernalillo County jury found a man guilty on 7 child sex abuse counts on Monday. Prosecutors say Jamie Villanueva faces more than 100 years in prison. According to the Bernalillo County District's Attorney Office, the abuse started when the girl was about 9 and continued until she was 13. The district's attorney office said the girl later told a school counselor about the abuse, and the counselor notified law enforcement. Our attorneys in the Special Victims Unit demonstrate extraordinary dedication, resilience, and compassion every single day. The work they do is among the most challenging in the legal profession. They do not give up, no matter how difficult the case, no matter the obstacles, because they understand what is at stake for the victims and survivors. Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman said. The district attorney's office said the jury found Villanueva guilty on 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor, 3 counts of criminal sexual penetration of a child under 13, and 2 counts of criminal sexual penetration in the second degree involving a child ages 13 to 18. Prosecutors said sentencing will happen at a later date.
A suspect is dead after Albuquerque police officers initially found the man unconscious while responding to a domestic violence call in southeast Albuquerque. APD identified the man who died to be 33-year-old Edgar Rivera. Officers responded to a call around 1 a.m. on Sunday at an apartment on Tennessee Street near Bell Avenue. According to APD, they found Rivera, who was unconscious and breathing when officers arrived, but suddenly stopped breathing. Officers tried reviving Rivera, but were unsuccessful. He died at the scene. The Office of the Medical Investigator did not determine the cause of death during an autopsy on Monday. APD said additional tests will be required, but investigators say Rivera's death does not appear to be a homicide at this time. The multi-agency task force is investigating since Rivera was in police custody at the time of his death. Coming up after the break, Jane will have his full weather report.
But first, here's a look at today's financial market.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm Jane Phillips, and let's take a look at our current radar across the U.S. You're seeing in the western part of our states, see a little bit of snow, especially up in the northwest in the U.S., not much here in the southwest. Up in the Dallas area, though, into the Oklahoma, quite a bit of thunderstorms, rain, precipitation, St. Louis as well, and then Chicago, Minneapolis, a lot of rain, Toronto, a lot of rain, East Coast, looking clear. Here in New Mexico, though, we are seeing clear skies, especially here in the eastern plains, no cloud cover, no precipitation in our area currently. Let's take a look at current temperatures. We're seeing 67 in Albuquerque, 64 in Santa Fe, up in Raton 66, Farmington, New Mexico is 63, Santa Rosa at 72, Rio Dosa at 62, Socorro at 72, currently here in Portales, we're currently at 76, Clovis at 75, Lubbock, Texas at 80, Hobbs, New Mexico at 79 currently. Let's take a look at tonight's lows. We're going to see 43 in Santa Fe, up in Farmington 44, Raton, New Mexico is going to be at 36, Clayton at 49, Tucumcari 52, Amarillo, Texas 57, and then Socorro 46. Here in Portales, we're going to see tonight 53 as a low, 51 in Clovis, and then Lubbock, Texas 63, and then good old Roswell, Texas 53 as well. Move on to our wind speeds throughout the evening. You're going to see a gust of 11 to 12 miles per hour out of the northwest here at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and then into the evening it's going to dip down. It's going to be a beautiful, calm morning, and then into the later in the morning into the afternoon, you're going to see gusts up to 9 miles per hour out of the south. So not much wind. Next 3 hours here in Portales, we're seeing 75 at 6 p.m. tonight. 72 is going to be at 7 p.m. And then clear skies for 64 as the temperature for 8 p.m. tonight. Let's take a look at tomorrow's highs. We're going to see 72 up in Farmington, 77 in Albuquerque. Santa Fe is going to be at 71 tomorrow. Truth or Consequences 79. Socorro is going to be at 80 tomorrow. Here in Portales, we're going to have a daytime high of 85. Clovis 83. Tucumcari is going to be at 85. And then almost 90 in Lubbock. We're going to see 89. 87 up in Amarillo, and then Roswell, New Mexico is going to be at 86 tomorrow. Let's move on to tomorrow here in Portales. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit windier in the afternoon. Winds out of the southwest at 19 miles per hour. You're going to see that mostly sunny skies with windy conditions. And then tomorrow night's lows, you're going to see 36 up in Farmington, 41 in Albuquerque, 34 in Santa Fe. Here in Portales, we're going to see 44, Clovis at 44, then Amarillo, Texas at 47. Hobbs, New Mexico will be at 46 tomorrow night. Let's take a look at some 7-day forecasts. We're going to start off with Tucumcari, New Mexico. It's going to be 84 on Thursday and Friday with windy conditions. Saturday is going to dip down into 63 with sunny conditions. Monday, 73 with winds. And then next week, you're going to see 88 on Tuesday and Wednesday with windy conditions on Wednesday as well. Let's move over to Carlsbad. You're going to see 90 tomorrow and Friday, and then dips down into the weekend with 71, and then 40% chance of showers on Sunday for Carlsbad with 69 as a temperature. And then next week, you're going to see 91 on Wednesday. Here in Portales, about the same story. You're going to see 65 here on Saturday. Next week, we're going to see 77 on Monday. And then Wednesday is going to be partly cloudy with 88. So it really is feeling like spring here in New Mexico, finally.
And it looks like the weather's really starting to level out.
It is leveled out for sure.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
We'll be right back with more news.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm your host, Steven Shutton, and happy Student Affairs Banquet Day. Let's take a look at today's report. The National Basketball Association came to a close for the regular season ahead of the playoffs on Sunday. There were a lot of games on Sunday, with it being the last day ahead of the playoffs. The Oklahoma City Thunder returned home to play their last game of the regular season against the Phoenix Suns at Paycom Center on Sunday night. The Thunder lost to the Suns with a score of 135 to 103. Right now, the OKC Thunder are leading the Western Conference with a record of 64 and 18, which is the highest record in the last 4 years. Right behind the Thunder is the San Antonio Spurs with a record of 62 and 20. For the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the number 1 seed for the playoffs, and the San Antonio Spurs are the number 2 seed for the playoffs for the Western Conference, as it will be a very good fight between these two teams. Now on to the Eastern Conference. Right now, the Detroit Pistons are leading the conference with 60 and 22. Right behind the Pistons are the Boston Celtics with a record of 56 and 26. The Detroit Pistons are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and the Boston Celtics are the number 2 seed in the conference. So the playoffs for the Eastern Conference is going to be a fight between these two teams. The playoffs start on Saturday, April 18th and run through May 19th. Game 1 of the NBA Finals start June 3rd through Game 7 if needed on June 19th. Do you want to know who will be in the playoffs and especially the finals? Yeah, me too. The Masters concluded this Sunday at Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia. This year's Masters was a thriller to watch as it came close between Rory McIlroy with -12, Scotty Scheffler with -11, and Cameron Young with -10. For the second time, Rory McIlroy claimed his second straight Masters title. In the first round, there were 3 players who had a 2-shot lead, and McIlroy overcame the control with a bold shot over Race Creek to 7 feet for the birdie on the par -3. With this, Rory McIlroy won the iconic green jacket and became the 2026 Masters champion. McIlroy rarefied air, which has only been occupied by Tiger Woods, Nick Faldo, and Jack Nicklaus to win 2 consecutive Masters in 2 years. The Hounds were on the road this past weekend as they played the Chaps of Lubbock Christian University. The Hounds' record is now 15 and 27, and same in the Lone Star Conference. The Hounds won 1 out of the 4 games in the series, with their win coming in Game 1 of the series with a score of 6-5. During this, Ija Saramara had 3 hits and 2 RBIs, which helped the Hounds win Game 1 of the series. Third baseman Adrian Martin also had 2 hits during this game, which also led the Hounds into defeating the Chaps 6-5 in the first game of the series. After that, the Hounds lost momentum and lost the last 3 games of the series, and the Chaps of LCU took the series. The Hounds' next and last home series of this season is April 17th through 19th, as they will be playing the Rams of Angelo State University, with Senior Day being on April 19th. So make sure to go out and support your Hounds as in the last home series of the 2026 season. This past Saturday at Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium at Al Whitehead Field was the spring game for football. This game was between green and silver. Some of the players that were on the green team were Jamari Price, JJ Silver, Nate Gensler, and Colton Stewart, just to name a few. Some of the players that were on the silver team was Robert Nora, Jose Trevino, Michael Garber, and Jarius Stewart, just to name a few. This game was a showcase on what Art Briles has in store for the upcoming football season this coming fall. This season is set to be a potential good season under Art Briles being the new head football coach. There are only 5 games this fall, with one of them being on Saturday, October 17th, where Eastern will be hosting the wagon wheel game against out-of-state rivals WT of Texas A&M at Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium. That's all the sports I have for you today, but don't go anywhere because we have more exciting news after this break.
Welcome back. New Mexico has seen STI rates drop significantly compared to 2024's rates, according to the New Mexico Department of Health. This announcement comes as the start marks STI Awareness Week, with the main subject of the announcement being an 18.6% drop in syphilis rates in New Mexico, as well as a 32.4% drop in congenital syphilis rates. Congenital syphilis, a serious and preventable condition in which syphilis is transmitted from mother to newborn, has been a persistent public health challenge nationally. However, New Mexico's nearly 1/3 reduction in 1 year marks significant progress. Chlamydia rates have also dropped by 5.1%, as well as gonorrhea rates dropping by 6.1%. NMDOH attributes the declines to expanded community outreach, increasing testing and treatment, promoting the use of doxypep, a medication taken after unprotected sex, to reduce STI risk.
A truly heartbreaking tragedy happened Monday in Albuquerque. A truck carrying Little Debbie cakes caught on fire in southeast Albuquerque and destroyed the full load. Albuquerque Fire Rescue had to put out the truck that caught fire just after midnight on Monday near Central Avenue and Tramway Boulevard. Thankfully, no one was injured, but as for the Little Debbies, the crew said the cakes were a complete loss. My heart goes out to all the Twinkies and Snowballs that were lost in the fire, but investigators believe at this time a mechanical failure caused the fire. 3 barely legal teens have been charged with battery of a correctional officer while they were in custody at the New Mexico Youth Diagnostics Development Center. Police say this weekend, Adrian Brown, Justice Sanchez, and Ezekiel Ulubari, who are all 18, assaulted and seriously injured a corrections officer. All 3 boys were taken to the Metropolitan Detention Center, where the DA's office will attempt to keep them until their trial. Multiple of the boys are also facing other charges on top of the charges for battery. Brown is facing a murder charge in the death of a homeless man last year, as well as a charge of bringing a firearm to school grounds back in 2022, while Ulibari also faces charges tied to a killing from last year.
As the hunting and fishing season is set to begin in New Mexico, and with that wildlife law violation, checkpoints are starting up as well. According to the New Mexico Department of Wildlife, the checkpoints are a way to collect biological data and detect wildlife law violations. In a news release, the New Mexico Department of Wildlife stated, as a result, the public may encounter minor delays. Department officers may be assisted by other law enforcement agencies such as the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, New Mexico State Police, or county sheriff's offices. Wildlife crimes can be reported to the Operation Game Thief toll-free line at 1-800-432-4263. Coming up after the break, we see who the pet of the day is.
And take one last look at the weather, so make sure you don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. A canine finds a lost little girl.
And a gorilla reaches the age of 69 and becomes a golden girl. All on today's Take a Look at This.
Watch a keen-nosed Colorado canine locate a missing girl just minutes after arriving to help. Arapahoe County Sheriff's officials were called to a neighborhood by a panicked mother who had been separated from her 7-year-old at a local park for nearly 2 hours. No sooner than sheriff's deputies started the search, they put their canine Rex to work, using the girl's shoes for a scent. The department says within 12 minutes, the dog picked up the trail and the girl was soon located, leading deputies on a short chase. She was okay, albeit a little shaken up, but was calmed down thanks again to Rex,
She would like to pet Rex.
who soothed the situation with some friendly puppy love.
He's a nice puppy, huh? He helped us find you.
You know, very good dogs deserve very good treats, and one Michigan neighborhood is now sporting a community toy and treat box stocked with knickknacks and nummies for dogs on the go.
There's about 20, 30 dogs always walk past our house, so we're like, babe, what can we do to help?
Warren resident Trisha Rowe built the Doggy Stick Stop, a twist on the popular Little Lending Library idea, but instead packed with dog toys, tennis balls, treats, and poop bags. Locals are loving the idea so much, the Stick Stop now has goodies donated from local businesses. People helping people, and poochies. Well, hot dog. Finally, treats are no more for this gorilla in Germany, but not because she's a bad girl, it's because she's a golden girl. Fatou, the world's oldest gorilla in human care, just celebrated her 69th birthday at the Berlin Zoo. She now gets her own private quarters away from the rest of the pack, but also, due to sugar restrictions, has had to give up fruit from her diet. And she doesn't exactly look thrilled about it. Oh good, more vegetables. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Today's pet of the day is my very own Michelangelo Tyrone Hargers the turtle, Mikey T for short. This grumpy old turtle loves to dig, watch humans play video games, and his favorite food is strawberries.
If you'd like to see your pet on News 3 New Mexico, email us their name, age, and something you love about them to news3nm@enmu.edu.
Well, should we take a look at our allergy reports? Because we are in spring. So let's take a look at our report. We are currently seeing that our tree allergies are at high, pollen at a low, and ragweed is at a medium currently. So the further we get into the spring, the more these allergy levels will go up. Let's take a look at tonight here in Petoskey. We're going to see 44 clear skies, winds out of the west at 7 miles per hour. And then current radar, you're seeing a little bit of cloud cover towards the southeast of New Mexico, around the Carlsbad maybe area, Levington and Hobbs area. So maybe a little chance for a little bit of a shower, possibly. Santa Rosa currently is at 70 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and then tomorrow's going to be 79 windy. Friday is going to be 78 and windy as well. Here, Roswell, New Mexico right now is 80 degrees, sunny, and currently tomorrow will be 85 with sunny conditions. Friday will be also sunny with 86. Here in Portales, we're going to see 64 currently right now with sunny conditions outside. Thursday is going to be 88 with partly cloudy skies, and then Friday is going to be 88 with those springtime winds kicking up. So spring in full effect, I guess, with the winds, right?
It does sound nice. And it looks like Mikey T is going to go out for a walk this weekend.
Hey, I'd like to film that, honestly. You know, like, hey, can we race like, you know, the movie Turbo?
Surprisingly, he might actually be able to beat you. He's a pretty fast turtle.
Is he really?
He
All right,
is.
Sounds good.
But thanks for watching and good night.
Good night.